Hello, my name is Constance, and welcome to the Yarning Over the Days podcast, episode 2. Yay! Okay, I was just making sure I was in the shop. You can find me at Instagram as Cleo, C-L-E-O-C-M-C. That's Cleo CMC. I also have the same name at Ravelry, Cleo, C-L-E-O-C-M-C. And I also have a blog, yarningoverthedays.wordpress.com. And I'll post show notes on the blog. So I also want to stop and thank you all for the wonderful comments and feedback and just encouraging words that you gave me from the previous episode. It really motivated me to create the next episode. I wanted to do it. Really, I was ready to do it immediately, but of course, I wanted to make sure I had enough finished objects and projects that I was working on to show you some progress on things that I've been doing. So I think that the 2-week time span is a great time span, and I'll probably continue to use that time span for the podcast episodes. So let's get into finished objects. Then we'll move into the works in progress, the archive treasures, the acquired treasures, and finally we'll end with what's catching my interest. As you all know, I'm participating in the Outfit Along, and this is hosted by Andy of UntanglyKnots.com and also Lauren of Ladybird.com. And this is similar to a knit along, however, it blends together sewing and knitting. So you sew an object, you knit an object, and you have an outfit. That's how it works. I participated the first year, and I didn't participate any other years just because of unforeseen circumstances, busy school schedules, everything traveling, and I wasn't able to. But I'm so happy to participate this year. My schedule is a bit freer. While I am in summer school, I'm just taking courses just to get ahead. And I'm in summer 1 session right now, so I have 1 class, so it's not as stressful or it doesn't boggle down my schedule as a typical semester would. So, the last time I showed you my cut pieces for the dress I was making for the Outfit Along, I made Simplicity 1803, and I actually finished this dress last Saturday. And I used the fabric, I think I showed you this fabric. Hold on a second. Okay. It was, so this is the fabric. And I received it from a past co-worker, and she's from, I said West Africa, but now know the specific place. She's from Accra, Ghana, A-C-C-R-A, Ghana. And this is fabric from her country. And she gave it to me 3 years ago, and I'm finally working with it. It just sat in my stash. I wanted to sew it, but I don't get the sewing inspiration as much as I am inspired to knit. So I could go a year or even months without sewing. But that's not the case with this episode, because all of the finished objects are actually objects that I sewed. So that's surprising because, like I said, I'm not a sewer, but I do enjoy sewing when the inspiration strikes. If you hear chewing, that's my dog Sarabi. She's playing with her chew toy, and maybe we'll have time and I'll introduce you to her later. So let's talk about my finished dress. And if I am able to, I'm still new to this, I'll try to insert a picture of the dress because I finished it that Saturday and I wore it to church on that Sunday last week. And so, yes. It went really nicely, and the fit is exactly how I expected it to be, because as I said, I made this pattern twice before, and so the fit is exactly how I like it. I was rushing. It was late Saturday, and I messed up the hook and eye closure. I mean, such a simple thing. But you see, I put on the outside. I don't know what I was thinking. I just read attach hook and eye closure, and I immediately did it. And I was like, oh no. So, of course, it's supposed to go on the inside. But that's an error that can be fixed easily. As you all know, I did underline the dress with this kind of turquoise satin. And The inside of my garments are pretty basic. I don't have a serger, and I don't even finish my seams with zigzag and stitch. I usually just use pinking shears. Let me show you an example. That's how I usually just finish it, and it works for me. My past dresses that I made, like I said, over 3 years ago, that's how I finish the seams, and I wear them all the time, so it seems to be no problem. It seems to work. It's an effective method. I don't know if I would ever buy a serger. Maybe if I felt that I was sewing more. And it's getting cloudy outside. I hope the lighting looks good still. But I don't know. It's not a necessity for me right now. So I'll continue to finish my seams with the pinking shears. I think that's what they're called. So I really like the dress, and this is how it looks. And I kept everything exactly the same as the pattern. I was actually playing with the idea of putting the pockets on the side. Let me see if I could describe this. Okay. So the pockets actually come in the front, like in the center of the center seam area instead of on the side seam, which is different. This is the side seam, and this is like the center. And it's kind of like your pockets are like a kangaroo, kind of. Yeah, kind of like kangaroo pockets. And it's a different type location, but I don't mind. And typically when I put things in my dress pockets, they're usually something lightweight, maybe a chapstick, my car keys. And so I really don't care where they're located as long as they're there. So I kept the pattern exactly as it was printed, and I'm really pleased with it. And yeah, so that's all I could think to say. I didn't make any modifications, and so I really like the fit, and I cannot wait to finish the matching cardigan with it, because when I wore it the first time, I just wore a collared shirt under it, which is nice, but I would have preferred to wear the matching cardigan. But I'm making progress on the cardigan, and we'll talk about the cardigan and works in progress, and you'll see how far I've come with that. So the other finished object I did was the, I don't know, okay, I'm skipping around. I actually did the Holly Burn skirt last weekend on Sunday, but we'll talk about that after, because I'm wearing it today. So I figured I'll talk about it last since I'm wearing it. But last night, I started on Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening around, I think it was around 4 o'clock when I started sewing this. And this is a pattern that has been sitting in my stash forever because it's such a popular pattern. I'm sure you probably, someone out there, or many of you probably have heard about this pattern. And it's by Tilly and the Buttons, and it's her Miette skirt. And I bought this pattern, so long ago. I'm not sure. I just knew I wanted to make the Miette skirt, and so I bought it. And of course, as I told you, it just sat there in my stash, and I didn't sew it for quite a while. And maybe I bought the pattern maybe 2 years ago. Well, anyway, I love the Miette skirt, and I love seeing it on Instagram and on Pinterest. And so many lovely ladies were making so many beautiful versions, and I knew I wanted to make it. So since this sewing bug was still within me, then I decided to finally get around to making the Miette skirt. I knew that I wanted to do it in denim, and I want to make other colors too, definitely. But the sample image had this denim version, and also the images on Tilly and the Buttons website, they were denim, and it just looked really nice and versatile. It looked like a versatile piece, and I like the whole, I think wrap skirts are from the 70s, but I like that whole vibe from that era that wrap skirts give. So I just wanted to create it. I did denim, and I was just going to get a plain denim similar to the sample image that she had posted on the website. However, when I went to Joann's, they had all types of denim, and I was like, ooh. So, but I still wanted a versatile skirt. So I saw this denim that I figured would go with quite a few things, and it is this denim here. And as you can see, they're little hearts on the denim, From far away, it looks like they're little polka dots, but up close, you can see that they're little hearts. And I thought that was so adorable. So adorable. I loved it. Yeah, and it was like, it was a nice element added to the denim. Yeah, it's still versatile. And I know I could wear it with a lot of things. So I chose that. And I started it yesterday, as I said. And I finished it yesterday. And I wasn't even up late. I finished it. And I love it so much. Because I finished it yesterday, I don't have images of it. And so I'll definitely be posting images to my Instagram. So if you like to follow me there to see the image, then I'll post it there. But I'll just talk about it and try to show it to you. So this is a denim skirt. It's a wrap skirt, as I said. This is my inside. As I said, I just finished my seams with pinking shears. And let's see. And it works like, hold on a second. I forgot how it goes on. Okay, yes. So this is how it works. And then I would wrap it around and tie it in the front or the side. I like to tie it at the side sometimes. Or you can do it in a bow or not. And I think I prefer tying it. I hope my voice wasn't out of range too much. But I think I prefer tying it in the knot. It looked really, really nice. And so I'm going to wear this to work tomorrow. And I think it's just a nice and lovely skirt. There were two versions of this pattern. And one had pockets on the front. And at first I was going to make the version with the pockets. Then because the pockets were kind of out on the outside, after I finished my Holly Burn skirt, I kind of like that streamlined effect. And I also saw other versions of the knee skirt in which some people didn't do the pockets, and I liked how it looked. So I decided not to add the pockets. And I'm so happy I did because I really, really, really like it. And I know I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it. That was the whole purpose of choosing the denim. And I'm so happy with it. I want to make more. And I'm sure I will get to making more eventually. Especially since it works up so quickly. Okay, the last finished object for this episode is another sewing project, and it's the Holly Burn skirt. Yay! Again, this was a pattern that sat in my stash. As I said, I bought it for last year's outfit along, but I didn't participate. But I still wanted to make this skirt. And I bought this fabric at Joann's. I went there the day before to pick up the denim for the Miette skirt. And I saw this kind of salmon pink denim, and I was like, oh, that's pretty. But you know how when you're in the store, you're like, oh, I don't want to add to my total. I was like, no, I'm not going to get this. And so I decided not to get the fabric. But that night, I started thinking about the fabric and different things that matched in my closet, and I was like, oh, I think I really, really want that fabric. So I went back the next morning and I picked it up, and I'm so happy I did. So I'll stand up, and I'll also try to insert a picture because I think you'll see the full effect of the skirt if I insert a picture. But I'll stand up and show you how it looks just from this image. I don't know. I don't want to attempt to stand on the chair. I don't want to hurt myself. But I could just show you the top part. This is my favorite part. Yes, I made version B of the Holly Burn skirt. And that's the version with the button tabs. And it's the length of that version. It's not as short as version C, but it's not as long as version A. And I love all versions, and I know I'm going to make all versions eventually. But I wanted to make this one because I just liked it. And the button tabs were so nice. I just thought that was a nice effect to some skirt. I also like the pockets. They're really lovely. During the sewing process, I kind of burnt the fabric a bit there. I have a tendency when I sew to try to get my creases as sharp or as perfect as possible, and I've done that before. I've cinched garments, and yes, I don't know why I do that, but I have yet to make a garment that's perfect, so it doesn't bother me and it's not that noticeable. And the buttons are my favorite aspect to this. Not only the button tabs, but the buttons, because Joann's had this like huge sale on buttons, and they were in this big basket, and they were 50 cents, and I was just digging around, and I found them, and they were these gorgeous wooden buttons with the little flowers carved into them. And I just think it was perfect because of that. Even that color picks up the color in the skirt of those flowers. So I really, really like the buttons. And so now I'm on a mission when I make my other Holly Burn skirts to find beautiful buttons to highlight that part. This was a pattern I followed exactly just as I did with the previous two patterns. I don't trust my sewing skills to modify much, and I don't know what I would modify anyway because I just like the pattern so much. And it was really, really simple to make, clear instructions, and I finished it. Yeah, I started after church last Sunday and I finished it that night, and I wore it to work the next day. So that just gives you an idea of how quickly it works up. And so with all of my fabrics, my projects, I do pre-wash all of the fabrics before, so when I'm ready to sew, I just simply get ready. I cut it, well, after ironing, I cut it and then start sewing, and things just go by really nicely. So this skirt is definitely a favorite. I can see myself wearing it a lot, which is why I have to make more versions. I'm thinking maybe a green or gold version, and I definitely want to make a gray version of it because I think gray would be really versatile. When it comes to skirts, I find that I like to get a versatile fabric or one that could fit a lot of things in my wardrobe. Whereas when it comes to dresses, for some reason, I'll go wild with the prints. I don't mind doing flowers or geometric shapes, or I even have the dress with the owls. And my Marvel dress, I like to go crazy with the patterns with dresses. But when it comes to skirts, I tend to play it safe because I want the skirt to match more of my tops and different things and my different cardigans. I don't know. I don't know why I'm like that, but that's how I roll. So that is it for finished objects, and let's get into works in progress. First, I guess we'll talk about the clover socks. As you can see, I cast on these socks actually a while ago, but when I cast them on, there's no rush. I cast them on because I wanted a project where I could put it in my book bag. I cast them on during the spring semester when it's very busy, where I could put it in my book bag and I could pick it up quickly. Also, if I was headed somewhere when I'm at home with my family and we were maybe going out to eat or shopping like we like to do, or getting errands done. For example, I went and got my car service when I went home last time, and I had these with me because it's such a small, fun project to carry along. That's how I treat this project. So there isn't any rush. It's also, I'm testing out the yarn with this project because previously, as you know, I just started making socks. And I'm trying to think of the different types of yarn I use. I've used a Knit Pick Stroll, and I've also used Knit Pick's Stroll hand painted. Yes, they're hand painted, and I used their Stroll Glimmer. And those yarns were really nice, and they had a nylon mixture. And I've also used this yarn that it had a nylon also element to it from Denmark for my interchange socks. And so this pair of socks is more of an experiment because the yarn is pure wool. I really like Knit Pick's palette because of the color range. And while I was shopping one day, I saw that they said that in the description of that this yarn could be used for socks, which I was like, oh, 100% wool for socks. But then I figured, I'm sure in the past, that's what they used. And so I wanted to test out the feel of Knit Pick's palette for socks. And I just also wanted to see how it worked up. The color is Cotton Candy, which I really like. As pink is my favorite color, and this shade of pink is just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. So I really like it. I don't know, it's getting cloudy outside. I hope the lighting looks good, and I hope it's showing up the color nicely. So yes, it's going lovely. This is a pattern, I think it's called the Clover Socks, from the same book that I've used previously, Knit Picks Socktacular. It's by the Knit Picks design team, and I really like that book. How it's set up, you can choose what type of cuff you're going to make and what type of heel you're going to make, and then you choose the type of toe. I did a cuff that was not in the book, and it's the twisted rib, because again, I wanted to test out the twisted rib. And I saw another Ravelry, she used a twisted rib for this pattern, and her socks were gorgeous, so I tried the twisted rib. I think this was my first time using it on socks. I've done twisted rib on a cardigan before. So that, I forgot that it kind of moves slowly, but it was okay. I just looked at some Netflix and I got to work. But it does move much slower than the regular rib. And as you see with the pattern, it's called Clover, and I guess because those little lace parts look like 4-leaf clovers. So it's really nice, and I cast on the suggested stitches, which were 64. I usually like to cast on 56. So what I did was I went down, I think, 2 needle sizes, and from the suggested size in the pattern. And I don't remember exactly. I know that it was a, hold on. So I'm using the 2.00 millimeters size 0 needles from Knit Picks, and it seems to work nicely. The socks feel, they don't feel as cozy, of course, as as soft and lush as the sock yarn that I've used for my previous sock patterns. So we'll see how this goes. I'm curious to see how it blocks out and how it wears, and I'll let you all know in the future. Again, like I said, this whole thing is just kind of a test to see how it goes and see if I like Knit Picks palette for socks, and we'll see. And if I do or don't, then I probably won't use it again, or probably will. We'll see. Okay, for the outfit along, for the knit portion of the outfit along, I've gotten much further along with my Anaheim cardigan. And I'm going to talk a bit more about it this time, since last time I just had the upper back, a little portion of it done, and I didn't talk much about it. But I could talk about it a bit more. I used a yarn weight that is sport weight, and the suggested pattern uses a DK weight. But I think I told you I did get gauged once I blocked it heavily with the sport weight, and I also went down needle size to fit the sport weight, because, hold on a second, I think this is a size, yes, US 5 needles, 3.75 millimeters. Yes, I went down because I didn't want to stretch out the sport weight. I didn't want it to be too open. I mean, we were already working with the lace, and I went down a needle size to fit the sport weight, but I went up a suggested size, is what I'm trying to say, for the pattern. So I usually would make an extra small with Andy's patterns, but this time I'm making a small. And I've been trying it on as I've been working on it, and it looks like the fit is going to be just fine and perfect. And so I'm pretty pleased with that. I've finished the decreasing at the side, and it's just a little section there. You can kind of see the break-in pattern. And so now I'm just finishing out the body. I'm curious to see how the I-cord edging is going to go, because I've never done I-cord edging So I'm not nervous about it. I think it's doable, but I'm going to look at some videos and maybe read up on it a little bit to make sure I do it correctly. But other than that, I really like it. The lace pattern is really intuitive. You can remember it, and the repeats, there are not that many repeats, so you can remember it. But I do want to make sure I pay attention, because I don't want to get like lazy, or not lazy, but comfortable and think I know it and then mess up. So after every lace repeat, I do kind of count my rows to make sure that I didn't miss a yarn over. Count my stitches, not my rows. Count my stitches to make sure I didn't miss a yarn over or anything, and make sure my count was accurate. And that's been working really, really well. I can't say that I had a boo-boo where it comes to the increases, because the pattern suggests that you fit the lace pattern where it fits. You know how those instructions go. And there was this one section where I guess I didn't include it where it fit, and it was like this kind of block of stockinette. And it was really, really bothering me. And I tried to keep knitting. I don't know why I do these things, because I know it's going to bother me. But I tried to keep knitting, but then it was just the flow. It wasn't as neat as it should have been, as you can see with the increases. And so I ripped it back. And ripping back lace is, it's not fun. Maybe I should have put a lifeline in, but I've never done that before. Yeah. And so I just ripped it back and picked it back up, picked the stitches back up, and I got back to work, and everything has been flowing really smoothly and nicely since then. I'm really liking the feel of this. I can tell it's going to be a staple, but I don't know if it's going to be a staple because of the wrap style. But I know that the color is going to match a lot of dresses. I'm not sure how it would look with skirts. I'll see. So as I was saying, the increases, I didn't fit it in. I think I told you that. But I've ripped it back and I corrected that error. And like I was saying, the feel of it feels really nice. And I really think I am going to enjoy wearing this cardigan. I can't wait until it's finished so I can wear it with the matching dress for the outfit alone. Of course, I'm going to wear it with other things in my closet. But I'm ready to finish my outfit for the outfit alone. Yes, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it looks really nice. So, let's see. Such a great match. Yes. And I'm using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Sport and Avocado. And I'm concerned because my skeins are from different dye lots. I have one more skein from the same dye lot, but the others are from different dye lots. They look the same to me. I've taken pictures of it with flashes. Sorry about my dog Sarabi. I was just making sure she wasn't eating or anything. Okay. And so I've taken pictures of the different dye lots, and they don't look any different. And I take pictures of it. I took a picture of it in a natural light, in the dim light. I took pictures of it with flashes. And then I've also just taken the pictures on my camera, but there doesn't seem to be a big difference. So hopefully it shouldn't be a problem. And also, I think that my next skein, I'll be able to finish out the body. And then what I'll do is I'll use those other skeins from the other dye lots for the sleeves, because if there's a slight difference, then at least both the sleeves will have that slight difference. But I don't think it's going to be a big issue. And the pictures will tell. We'll see. So those are my works in progress for now. I do still have the Vivian sweater on the needles, but I didn't work on it since the last episode at all. So I figured why show you a project where my status, or the status of it, is still the same. So hopefully I'm not sure. I hope I'll be able to work on it. by the next episode because I really want to finish that sweater. It is so, so, so cute, so nice, so lovely, and I want to finish it. It's just that I've been more motivated to do other crafty things like sewing and finishing my outfit for the outfit along. So those have been getting my priority, and the Vivian sweater has been put on the back burner. But I'm sure I'll pick it up soon, and I hope to finish it before the end of the summer. It'd be nice to wear it in the fall. So those were my works in progress. And now I'm going to talk about the archive treasure for today. And in this section, I talk about things that I knitted or made in the past that I just want to talk about how it's wearing, how it's been worn, and how I've been enjoying the project, and things that I can remember from when I knitted or sewed this project or crocheted. There may be crochet items in the archive treasures. So this item I'm actually wearing today, it is the Frenchy blouse. And it hasn't been in the archives long. I've actually finished it this past April. The designer is Amy Apple, and she's a new knitwear designer, so check her out. And her designs have a, kind of retro feel to them. And so if you like that type of style, then I think that you would love her design. She's really gifted. And she contacted me back in April and asked if I would test knit this for her. And I said, okay. And I really liked the blouse. I actually test knit. I used to test knit in the past, but it was about 3 years, and I did test knits for Andy's patterns. And it's been a while since I test knit. And so I was like, oh, test knitting. When I test knit, I tend to take it very seriously, and I want to make sure I give all of my feedback and things on it and make sure I don't miss any errors or anything. So I knew that this was going to take up a chunk of my time, and because of how my schedule was for the spring semester, it was really busy. And so I actually scheduled to finish this blouse in a week. I knew that I had papers coming up, exams, and I literally carved out the time and said I have to finish it in this time period or it's going to be, my schedule will be a disaster. So I put in my mind to finish it in a week, and I did that. And it's funny because I actually had to rip back half the body. This was my first time working with hand-painted yarn, especially for a large project, and I don't like it. I know that the little tag on the yarn, and this is Madeline Tosh DK in liquid gold. That's the yarn that I used. On the label of the yarn, it said to alternate skeins if you're going to be making a larger project, and I was just like, I don't want to do that. So I didn't do that. So yeah, I guess it's my fault too. I was knitting the body, and I was looking at one skein. Sorry about Sarabi. And I was knitting. I noticed that one skein was a bit lighter, but I was like, oh yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. It wasn't all right. There was this skein was much lighter than the other skein. There was this big demarcation line on the body, and I did the same thing that I did with Anaheim. I don't know why I put myself through this, and I continued to knit for quite a few rows. I mean, I was almost to the ribbing of the body. And then I did the whole taking a picture of the sweater in different flashes and different lights, and it was just too noticeable. It was horrible. So I had to rip back half the body. And I used 3 skeins, not all 3. I think it was 3. Yeah, I bought 3 skeins if I'm not mistaken. And I noticed that the other skein was a closer match to the beginning of the blouse. So yeah, I still didn't alternate. So I just added that skein in, and it worked out nicely. And with that lighter skein, I used it on the sleeves, and you probably could see that this sleeve is lighter than the body, but I don't mind. As I said, when it comes to the sleeves, I don't mind if there's a slight difference in color, but it was bothering me with the sweater. I'm going to stand up. I have it tucked in now, But let's see. Give you a 380. I think this pattern is so lovely. My favorite part are the bobbles. I don't think I've knitted bobbles before. No, I've crocheted bobbles, but I've never knitted bobbles before. So I really, really like that feature on the blouse. And it's just so nice, so lovely. And I did look at YouTube videos to figure out how to do the bobbles. There was a description in the pattern, but I think I needed more help or clarity. So I used YouTube videos to figure out how to do the bobbles, and it worked out so nicely. I also think one of my favorite parts are the puff sleeves. They're so nice, and the bobbles are on the sleeves also. Every time I say puff sleeves, I feel like Anne Shirley for Anne of Green Gables. And you know, she wanted the dress with the puff sleeves, Marilla. And so every time I talk about this cardigan, this blouse, not cardigan, and I say, oh, I love the puff sleeves, then I feel like Anne Shirley. So yeah, I don't know. So it's nice, and it works really nicely for the summer. I didn't realize that a short sleeve knit blouse would fit into my wardrobe so nicely, but I've been wearing it quite a bit this summer. I wore it also during the Me Made May, and I just find that it fit. And yeah, so it doesn't get hot at all. And I don't know if it's because the yarn is DK. I don't know if because it's a short sleeve and a scoop knit, but I don't get hot. And I did shorten the body more than the suggested pattern. I have a short torso. Also, I'm only 5'2", and I knew that the suggested length would be too long. Let me untuck my shirt. And so I shortened the blouse, the ribbing, by I think I shortened it by 12 or 15 rows. The details are on my Ravelry page. And yeah, so I think that I did shorten it, the ribbing part. And I'm so happy that I did. I think that the fit is perfect. And when I shortened the ribbing, what I did was I compared it to a favorite pullover of mine, the Aiken sweater by Andy Satulin. And I really like the length of that sweater. And so what I was doing was, as I was working the blouse, then I would just simply lay it on top of the Aiken sweater and compare the length, and I measured it. And I made sure, I think it was it 22 inches? I think it was 20. I wanted it to be, I know, the same length as the Aiken sweater. And it worked out really, really nicely. So that's the archive treasure for today. I think I've given you the details. And if you want to maybe work it up, then check out Amy Apple's Ravelry store. And she has quite a few new patterns out also that you may like. So that's that. And I'll now talk about the acquired treasures. Last week I told you, not last week, but last podcast, I told you I wanted to make the Jane Seymour cardigan by Alice Starr Moore. Y'all, I'm so excited about this cardigan. Like, I want to make it. I want to throw everything that I'm working on down and just work solely on this. But then I can't do that. I don't like to have a lot of unfinished objects hanging around. So I've been resisting but the kit from Virtual Yarns for this cardigan did arrive on Monday. And so I ordered it it took about 2 weeks to get here, probably a little less. And I'm just so, let's just start talking about it, okay? So this, I told you, is the main color I'm going with. Instead of that, I think it's called Red Rattle. I always forget the name that's in the... Yeah, instead of that Red Rattle as the main color, then I'm Sarabi. No. sorry, then I'm substituting it for bog bean. As you know, green is one of my favorite colors, and I just think, oh, so lovely. It's so nice. Do you see those different? It's a heathered green, so it's not this solid type of color. It's so beautiful. Sarabi, stop that. No. It's so, so nice. So that's the main color. Then the accent color is corn crake. I think that's what it's called. Yes. Yes, corn crake. And oh, they go so nicely together. And so those are the main colors. But then, I don't know if you saw, the pattern has this nice detail of, can you see that little, of the little knots between each of the diamonds. And so those are all different colors. And so these are the colors for those little knots. And this is called driftwood, which is this lovely lilac purple. And this is mountain hair, which is this kind of burnished red / orange color. So nice. And this is, I think, golden clover, which I really, really, really like. I like it so much. And this last color is sundew, and it's a type of orange. And those are going to be the little accent knots. And so I have more yarn, but I can't pick it all up, of course. But those are the yarn choices. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to make this cardigan. I'm not going to rush the process. I do know that, because the yarn, of course, is a fine weight yarn, or not fine weight, but it's a 2-ply yarn, and of course, I don't expect it to work up really quickly, and it's a very detailed pattern, and I want to give it all of my attention. So I look forward to making this cardigan so much, and I like looking at the different skeins because it's also giving me ideas for future projects by Alice Moore, what colors I want to use. And the color golden plover, of course, stood out to me, but at first I thought I was going to want to make the Elizabeth cardigan. Hold on. Let me see. By the way, I'm a big Queen Elizabeth I fan. I mean, I love Queen Elizabeth II also. But Elizabeth I, she started my love of English history in the Tudor period. But this sweater, they used the golden plover, and I think it's beautiful. But the thing is, I have made quite a few. I tend to flock to this color a lot, is what I'm trying to say. Like even you can see it with this blouse that I'm wearing here. And so it's not like I really need another cardigan or in this, not cardigan, but sweater in this color. But then I still wanted to use a color that would fit my wardrobe. And this, I think, is pretty driftwood for the Elizabeth I sweater. But I don't know if that purple, I made two knit garments in purple, and I hardly ever wear them because I don't wear purple much. And so, Sarabi. And so, I'm not sure if they would fit into my wardrobe. So, I don't know. But the color I'm most thinking of, I love the most for the Elizabeth I is this mountain hair color. And I think it's nice. It's so pretty. So, I don't know. I'm thinking too far ahead. It's not. I didn't even finish my Jane Seymour yet. So, going back to the Jane Seymour, what I've been doing is when I am dealing with this is a sweater, a pattern of a designer that I've never made a garment from before. So typically when that occurs, I like to study the pattern. And so that's what I've been doing. Even though I didn't cast on, I've been studying the pattern. And that simply means I've been reviewing it, reading over it, trying to visualize how it all works and how it all comes together, so I don't have any confusion when I actually start making the cardigan. And I'm glad I've been doing that, because when I was reading the rose leaf edgings, those are the different, those little leaves look like triangles, but they're actually rose leaves, which is so nice. Yes, the rose leaf edging, when I was reading over it, I couldn't really visualize how it's going to come together. So what I did was I just took some scrap yarn and I just actually started working up the rose leaf. I, of course, didn't use the yarn from the kit, but I just wanted to see how it would work up. And I used some scrap yarn, and then I saw how it came together, and it was very, very clever. And so I really like that. And this cardigan will be worked in pieces, and then I will have to, I will have to seam them together. So that's the acquired treasure for this episode. And I'm so excited about it. And I think that we have time. And let me introduce you all to Sarabi. This is Sarabi, look at the camera. Okay. And this is Sarabi. She's my main introduction. She's been with me since, Sarabi. Okay, she's so energetic. She's still kind of a puppy because she's just, and I think that she was playing and I disturbed her, but she turned 1, Sarabi, wait. She turned 1 March 30th. And so she's still a puppy, and she is adoption, so they can be mischievous little creatures. And so I have to keep my eagle eye on her because she would try to sneak and eat anything, and I have to catch her. But she, Sarabi, and this would be the catching my interest, even though Sarabi always has my interest section. But Sarabi, I became her owner when she was 6 weeks old. So she's been with me since she was a babe, since she was a little pup. And oh my goodness, she's just so cute. She's so cute. Her brothers were tan Dachshunds, but I wanted a black and tan female Dachshund, and they happened to have one. I mean, I think the tan Dachshunds are adorable also, but it's like she was just waiting there for me to come pick her up. And I've had her since she was a pup. And I knew I wanted a dog when I was accepted into a doctoral program, because doctoral program will be 4 to 5 years, and I was like, if I'm going to be someplace that long with not much family around, it's nice to have a companion. And I didn't have a pet, of course, when I was in my master's program. That was 2 years, and I wanted a dog so badly. That's all I talked about to my coworkers. And I worked at the museum while I was a student there, and the museum was like in downtown Durham, and people would always walk by with their dogs, and my coworkers knew how much I wanted a dog, and so they would go, Constance, oh, it's a poodle, oh, it's some greyhounds, oh, it's, we just see different dogs, people walking their dogs. So I said, if I get accepted into a doctoral program, then I'm going to get a dog. And because I don't want to be anywhere for 4 years and not have just that companionship. And so I was accepted, and I was on the lookout for a dog. And my dad went with me. We went to Prattville, Alabama, which is about an hour from, not even an hour, maybe an hour from my hometown of Tuskegee, Alabama. And the owner, she was so nice and so lovely. And so Robbie came home with me. And she's been here with me. I brought her here to Columbia with me. And I just love her. I love her so much. And she's so sweet. Yes, she is. Yes, you are. Can I see you? Oh, so Robbie. Okay. And so she's so lovely. Having a dog is just, it's one of the best things in life, because I like how she wakes you up each morning. I get up much earlier than I ever anticipated. And just her little shenanigans, they're just so adorable. And she can be mischievous. And there was this line on Downton Abbey when, I can't believe I forgot his name. But the Dowager Countess, her butler, he was talking about the new maid, and he said, she's quite untrainable. She takes after deduction. And I was like, oh no. And my nieces thought that was so funny. And whenever Sarabi acts up or I get out of line, then they'll say, she's quite untrainable. So that's a joke. And I can't believe I forgot the butler's name. Now I'm going to have to look at that episode. I'm a big Downton fan. I have all of the seasons on DVD, and I look at them all the time. I like to look at them while I'm cutting, actually, sewing patterns. And I would have never thought that I love adoption so much. And when I was considering dolls, I was not considering the adoptions. They just weren't on my radar. But when I got her, then I loved her. And I wouldn't trade her for anything. And my dad loved her so much, he asked for adoption for his birthday. And so he has a black and tan boy adoption named Skippy. And that's Sarabi's best friend. So whenever I go home, they just play and play and play and play and run around. And it's just, I just like to watch them. Yes. Okay, I could talk about Sarabi forever. She's so sweet. Yes. There you are. There you are. There you are. But that concludes this episode. And I'll see you all again in 2 weeks. And I hope to have some finished objects and things to show you. Fun things to show you. I hope that outfit is finished with the outfit along. We shall see. This week, I don't know how much crafting will get done. It's the final week of Summer 1 session. I have a final exam, and I also have a paper that I need to write tonight. So it's not due till Wednesday, but still. I need to get on it. So that's what I'm doing. And so this week, I'm not sure how much crafting time will get done, but that's how it's going to be. And so I'm not sure how much progress I'll make by the next episode, but we shall see. Well, thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, whatever it may be, just let me know. Leave it either in the comments below. I try to make sure I respond to every single person that leaves a comment. Or if you want to contact me on Instagram or Ravelry, I check all of those places, so it's completely fine. And I thank you for listening and being a part of the podcast. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.